I get this call from the skipper, Alan Border, come to my room. Went to his room, he said, sit down, you want a drink? Thanks. So we sit down, had a Pepsi or water or something, we were just talking, and he said, right, you're my number 3 for the next couple of years. Do you want it? And he looked me down the barrel, do you want it? I said, well, I've been waiting 2 years.
The thing that sort of swayed me was that he was a very good player of spin bowling, used his feet very, very well, had all the shots, was prepared to advance down the wicket to get after spinners. And so that's, in my mind, tipped the scales in his way.
And number 3 positions, just think of the people who batted number 3 for Australia in the past. And think about what you do, you've got to do the stuff that they did. I don't keep thinking of Bradmans and Chappells and all these type of stuff, And
he was absolutely rapt to be given the opportunity again, to bat at 3, pivotal role. He knew he had my confidence and support, so I think he left the room just, 10-foot tall, bulletproof, ready for action.
After 1 hour of talking to me about what's required as a test cricketer and as a test batsman, a number 3 batsman, I walked out of that room feeling 10 foot tall. I just thought I was invincible. I just felt Alan Border put a red coat around my neck and put number S on the front.
Newly promoted Dean Jones made the most of his chance and punished anything loose.
Nice job. Full toss, can I get straight drive?
As Jones and Boone went on the attack, the stifling heat took its toll.
It was so hot, and the energy levels were just completely sapping out of us, because it's a bit like a tennis player playing the serve and volley game. I knew it was hot. Halfway through between lunch and tea, when Chris Rekamp, a local, he said, you know how hot it is here, Dino, today? I said, no. He said, when I was driving here this morning, I saw all the rats running away. All the local rats. I know it's hot then.
The heat in Madras. Chennai, there are only 3 weathers: hot, hotter, hottest. So it belonged to the hotter category.
You can normally cope with a clean, hot heat, but when that humidity, which it does in Madras, gets very high, it's like walk a lap and the sweat starts coming through the eyelets in your shoes. And it's very taxing.
If the players had hoped for some relief from the oppressive heat, it was not to be. The cement of the tiered concrete stadium continued to be baked by the broiling sun and was almost too hot to touch.
I don't think they played today in those conditions. I think they would say it was harmful to your health. It really was quite ridiculous when you look back, and it was so hot and so humid that you'd just step outside and it was like walking into a furnace.
When play resumed this morning, night watchman Ray Bright showed complete disdain for India's best bowler, Ravi Shastri.
And this could be a 6, yes. It was just about over the line.
Not to be outdone, Dean Jones advanced from 88 to 96 with 2 spanking boundaries. The first a square leg.
No question of my mind that I'm not cutting that off.
And the second, high, wide and handsome through mid-wicket.
Yeah, that's about what he thinks.
Then Ray Bright's gone saying, Jesus, it's hot. God, I know it's hot, Ray. I was here yesterday. Look, just... And he said, Jesus, it's hot. And I could see him. He's going crimson red and he's starting to blow up,
Jones, playing in only his 3rd test, defied insufferable heat to reach his maiden test century with this on-drive from Shastri's bowling. It was the achievement of a player who had learnt to curb impetuosity and work for his runs.
Look at that.
I was thinking, I've made 100, test 100. You made it. But my brain was saying, hang on, there's more to come here. I'm not worried about the 100. I want to get more.
Jones even overshadowed his illustrious partner Alan Border in a stand of 178 for the 4th wicket as both men overcame India's bowlers in the testing conditions.
The tragedy of it was played in India because it didn't get the publicity, it didn't get the recognition. It's one of the great innings ever played, one of the gutsiest innings ever played.
And I think Dean Jones, I've never bowled against a better batter ever in my life. I mean, he didn't let me pitch the ball, really. The moment I would flight the ball, he was there at the pitch of the ball. And it was a lovely sight. There are some times in your career when you enjoy being hit. And I think that was one innings I really enjoyed being hit because I was giving him that challenge that come out, step out and hit me. And he would accept it every time.
It got to a stage where I started to cramp up in my hands, and you get pins and needles in your hands, and your hands start to go up with that. And you push your hands out trying to stop the cramping. And then I swept one and I started to cramp up in the back leg, and then I started to cramp up my back. And it got to the stage where I think I was in the mid-170s or something, and I knew I was in trouble because I started to urinate in my pants, and I couldn't stop it.
He would hit me for a boundary, go to mid-wicket, vomit, come back, do that again. It was amazing. I mean, I was just thinking that he's going to get out, he's going to get tired, but he never did.
I've got to admit that I wasn't overly concerned. It was just, he's a bit crook, and throwing up. But you have these little fits of nausea, then you get back into the stream of things, and you might feel crook again. And
I said, Davey, I've had enough. I'm stopping the game. This is stupid, me vomiting every 2 minutes. We're on TV, and every time I hit the ball in the outfield, I can only walk one. I can't run. I'm cramping up. I can't move anymore.
The ailing Jones almost retired at 170, but decided to keep going and became the first Australian to score a Test double century in India.
I cannot remember going into the dressing rooms at 200, 202 not out at tea. I can't remember anything.
By the time he came in, I think 202 not out at tea time, he was like a corpse.
Every time he came off the field, we had assigned players to do certain things for Dino. As he came through, the cap would be taken off, his gloves would be removed, his pads would be removed, someone else would take off his shirts and there'd be an ice bath waiting for him.
We would do that and basically just shove him out the door and say, Dino, go, you're off again. And somehow he would click back in, but as he went on, his eyes started to draw out and draw out and draw out.
I was still batting when he was dismissed at 210, so I just thought, oh, well, what a fantastic knock. And, we're getting to that point where we're in a very impregnable position in this game.
I remember when I got out, I got bowled and walked off the ground, that I was put in a bath, an ice bath, full of ice, just water. And I just hopped in this bath and I had a Fanta or something, and I thought, oh, this is like lukewarm water. And obviously it was unbearably cold with ice and all that, and I was okay. The first time all day that I felt, oh, I'm half alive here, I'm all right. And I hopped out of the bath and that was it.
It wasn't until later that I found out that he sort of collapsed and was in very bad shape and had been rushed off the hospital. And that's when I started to think, oh my God, I've killed him.
I went into a ball because I was cramping that much and I just couldn't release. I was screaming to high hell that the pain in my back and the stomach and just cramp right through your whole body. And obviously dehydration and set in, and then I got told later that obviously I went to ambulance to the Apollo hospital, and what happened there in the hospital and chaos and all that type of stuff, and they weighed me and that I lost 7 kilos in the day.
I've got to take full credit for, his legendary status now. I mean, if he'd walked off, retired, hurt 170, mate, no legend. Now he's made 210 and nearly died. I mean, I'm responsible for that.